four, three, two, one, go!
Yo, what's up, good people? Y'all know what time it is, baby. It's AA Sports, straight sports, no chaser, and you have the super team of sports talk here with y'all. I'm one half of it, Diego Barishnikov, the Black Dominican Russian, here checking in with my main man. Y'all know him, the partner in crime. They call him the 6 foot and under post-up champ. Tell these people who you are.
What's good, good people? It's your boy Uncle Hate, the other A and AA Sports, broadcasting live here on Tuesday, Thanksgiving week. Happy to be here, week 11. What's good, homie? Well, heading into week 12. Damn.
Yeah, man, it's flying by. Everything is good on this end. You said it's Thanksgiving holidays are upon us. I've been ready to eat my ass off since probably last week.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I've been counting it down. But
yes, sir.
Always good times to be with the family.
Yeah.
We're here with our sports family tonight. Again, we want to appreciate everybody that tunes in, listens to us on the podcast platform, whether it be iTunes or Spreaker. Continue to do so. Rate those shows. Leave us some comments as well. And those of you guys that just like looking at our ugly-ass faces on the YouTube channel, continue to do so. Watch, hit that subscribe button, leave some thumbs up or down, and some comments and feedback as well. Again, we appreciate that here at AA Sports. Keep supporting us. We'll keep giving y'all the content that we bring to y'all each and every week.
Real sports talk.
There it is. All right. So y'all know how we start. Open bar, as always. A little segment we like to call something like the news. This is a little area of the show, again, where we give y'all a little bit of entertainment and stories, everyday life stories that we find as we browse the internet.
Yes, sir.
All right, so we're going to hit y'all off. Hey, get us started. What you got? You got homework this week? I got my homework this week.
I did my homework this week. I got a few. All right, shout out to Robert Bailey, a New York man who won $343.9 million last month in the lottery. Here's the good thing about this, outside of winning all that bread. He's played the same number straight for 25 years, and it finally paid off.
Damn.
Is that not persistence like a motherfucker right there? The same numbers for 25 years. 8, 12, 13, 19, 27, and 4. And they won him because he took the cash out after the taxes. $125,396,000, $690. $125 million. That's a lot of bread, man.
Hey, that's what's up, man. You know, when they hit, though, I know he felt good because, that's somebody that dibbles and dabbles. What the hell is that?
What's up?
No, it's some crazy music playing. You hear that shit?
Yeah, it kind of came up. I heard a bit. I don't know what that's about. But
damn, I lost train of thought. That shit came on so loud and out of nowhere.
Yeah, but the homie won $125 million. Shout out to him for keeping it moving and getting it. All right.
I was saying, I play the same numbers too. Birthdays more than likely. But yeah, go ahead.
Shout out to him. All right, this next story is about the evils of the internet and social media. Did you hear about this story about these cats going up to Chipotle and they turned the camera on the manager because the manager demanded they pay first?
Right.
And they were black, of course. And now, of course, old boy recorded it and put it out there, and Black Twitter and everybody jumped up in arms because he was like, "Can some what do you say? Some well-established African Americans get a nice meal after a workout?" Well, Chipotle fired the manager. Now, never mind the fact that a couple of the employees, you weren't black, were back there like, "Nah, dog, y'all were here a couple weeks ago. Y'all ate and didn't pay." Well, this is why you don't tweet about your ill-gotten gains. The young man by the name of Masad Ali had tweeted previously about dining and dashing, especially at Chipotle. Said they were catching up to him. So Chipotle plans on rehiring the manager. People pull them camera phones out and they be getting folks fired behind dumb shit in some cases. Some of it's good, some of it's bad. But in this case, it didn't work out well for these young men because you can't tweet about what you do and then try to get people jammed up behind it. So shout out to Chipotle for doing the investigation and bringing that person back. Now, if you that manager who was doing your job and got fired behind some foolishness, are you going to try to sue for wrongful termination or you go back?
I'm trying to get that bag.
Exactly.
I'm trying to get that bag, and I'm trying to beat their ass.
Exactly.
Straight up. So I don't need to go back there because I'm gonna get fired anyway.
I'm talking emotional distress, the whole 9 yards, man. Getting fired like that for something I ain't do. I need that bag.
That's what I'm saying. The bag and ass whipping.
There you go.
If you cause me to lose my job over some bullshit, you're gonna have to see me.
Exactly. All right. I don't know if I did this update. This is like the third time I done brought this story up. Did you hear the latest revelations with this whole Army vet and them two people with that GoFundMe thing?
Yes.
Okay. Now the chick done flipped because come to find out they was all in it on together. It wasn't just him and the girl. They knew old boy. And that whole gas story was some bullshit. So she's flipping on them. She done recorded a phone call between her and the boyfriend where she said, "Why are we doing this?" And he's like, "You can't go to jail for telling a lie on TV." Well, you defrauded these people, and she's turning states on you. So it's not like everybody going to jail except for her. So I love the updates. I love when shit develops later on, and we still get to talk about it. I love that. That's crazy. All right, another story in regards to what I was talking about this last week about grown people need to get their own place. John Crane, 46 years old, pulled out an axe. This is a Nebraska man. Pulled out an axe on his roommate and his girl because he felt like it was too cold in the crib, and they had the thermostat off.
What?
People.
It had to be some meth nearby. You said Nebraska?
Yeah, Nebraska.
Definitely, I'm definitely guessing meth.
Now, here's the trick part. He had to be drunk because if I got an axe in my hand, B, you're not wrestling me to the ground and taking it from me. That's just not going to happen.
How you get an axe taken from you?
Right. He wasn't about that life. He was talking, but
it's an axe. It's an axe. How you get it taken from you?
All right, this next one here. This one hit close to home. All right, people. You talk about some terrible stuff that people's exes have done. I can say this with a clear and straight conscience. I know I got at least one ex that hates my guts. I mean, hates me. Just the soul of me. Hates me.
Bruh. Yeah. And I told you I seen her one time and I was like, man, I was scared.
I've never had an ex do to me what happened to this young man here. The gentleman's name is Christopher Precope. He was facing 99 years in jail, B, because his ex said he broke in her house, assaulted her, and slashed an X in her chest with a box cutter.
What?
Right. He got arrested behind this.
Of course.
Now, here's the catch. A selfie saved this young man's life. He was with his mama. They was all out with the family, took a selfie. The selfie date, well, the time on it was 7:02 p.m. The girl was attacked at 7:20 p.m. She was attacked 70 miles from where he was at with his mama. But answer me this though, cuz. How is it she didn't get charged with putting that lie on him and he went to jail?
We see it over and over and over again. For some reason, they don't. Is that not against the law or something? I thought it was to give a false statement or whatever.
He was facing real time, and she gets to skate. Man, that's some humbug here. All right, it's my last one. This is for you. This is for you kids out here in these streets. You young Thundercats.
That's another thing right there, man. I don't condone fighting women, man. That's another thing right there. You want to get a cousin or somebody to go see.
Cousin got to. She got to get touched. She has to. We ain't saying he should do it.
Right.
So I'm gonna have to shake behind that. He spent a night in jail, a couple nights. So I'm gonna have to shake. They had to put $150,000 in bond to get him out. Some got to shake.
Yeah.
Something. All right, this is my last story for you young kids out there. I've reported at least a couple of times over the last couple of weeks. black teachers, professionals in these schools, they're not here for your shit. Y'all gonna have to stop coming for them because they fighting little kids nowadays.
Yeah.
You gotta stop.
You knew this was gonna start happening one day though. It was just a matter of time.
It's coming. Now I haven't seen the story with a white one. Y'all could be fighting kids just the same, but all the stories I keep finding is black people fighting little kids. Holly Lynn Sewell, 54 years old, of Athens. She's a bus monitor. She got locked up for simple battery for reacting in an aggressive manner for grabbing and holding two special needs kids. Hey, Holly probably got real bills. She not here for these kids talking crazy out of line. Now, they special needs. I don't understand why she did that. But y'all got to stop coming for adults because they fighting y'all now. It's like the third week in a row I done did a story about an adult fighting a child at the school. They about that now.
They fed up.
They get fed up. So,
and that's another product of. I just think the teachers are just too young, man. I mean, you think back when we went to school, teachers were like grandmothers, you know.
This chick's 54.
And that kind of ain't. Oh well, she just okay. Well,
she just probably went for that shit. They was probably talking out their neck. She just went for it and snatched them up.
Okay, I'm thinking it's one of these young teachers. You know, a lot of these teachers, they like 5 years older than the students.
Right. I think old boy we was talking about the other week who squared up with the kid, he was young.
Okay.
He was young. So I need to check in on that. We need to update on that. But yeah, stop trying these teachers. They fighting y'all back now. Stop it.
Absolutely.
What you got, dog?
All right. What I was gonna do, you did one. I was gonna do the update on the GoFundMe people, but you got that covered. So the other thing I had two other things.
Okay.
Did you hear about this lady in DeKalb County? Went to the bank, lost $9,000.
Mm-mm.
All right, so I'm trying to find her name. That's where all that music came from. But
that's a bad day losing $9,000.
She can't. Okay, I don't have the thing where it says her name, but she went to the bank. Right, went through the drive-through to deposit the money, and so they told her that she couldn't make that kind of cash deposit in the drive-through. She had to come inside.
Yeah.
You know, when she sent it, she set the money in a little tube, put it in the chute. All right. So she's like, all right. So she goes inside the bank. So to show her ID, well, they already had her ID. But she goes inside the bank and, to make the transaction. And she's like, where's my money? Where's the money? The bank teller apparently didn't say anything or assumed that she was going to know. She sent the money back through the chute. And the next car that pulled up, she says, you know what? I was wondering why that car didn't make a transaction and just left. They got the money out the tube
and left.
Fuck what I was already here to do, because it probably wasn't to withdraw $9,000.
Is it fucked up to say, look at God?
So they try to investigate to find out who the hell that was. Meanwhile, the bank says, it might be a couple more days, but they're going to get her money back. So, no word on that young lady's job.
I would have peeled down. I saw that.
Bruh, I'm just not. Well, it's not $10,000, but say $10,000 has become federal.
That's federal then.
Yeah, I think it's right below the threshold of federal, but they gonna come for you.
Oh God, $9,000 you wasn't even expecting. He's like, I go to another location. I'm out.
Man, they got the hell on. But that's kind of what you at almost 40. I would probably do the right thing because I know they're gonna find you. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? There's too many cameras in the bank parking lot.
Yeah.
But the younger Diego, would have been the dude probably to take the money.
Yeah, they probably got cameras every which way to get your tag and everything. So yeah, $9,000 ain't worth going to jail for. That's right. Look at you.
But that's funny.
Yes.
The other thing I had was all right, so this cat, Jaquin White. Now Jaquin been on the run since Let me see. When did he go on the run? I want to say it was back in 2009,
Damn.
something like that. But he had a little car, little car problems or whatever. So he on the side of the road, and the cops, stopped to pull over to help him out or whatever. And he started, of course, acting suspicious or whatever. He gave them a fake name and everything. Cop ran the plates, and they came back that the car was, stolen or something. So dude started running.
Yeah.
They finally catch up to him, and he just started kicking officers in the face.
Like kicking them standing up in the face.
Well, yeah, they wrestling around on the ground, and he just starts he just starts stomping them out.
Okay.
But they had to end up using the stun gun on his ass in order to, of course, subdue him and transport him to the hospital so he can go straight to jail. But that's messed up. You've been on the run since 2009, and that's how you get caught up on the side of the road. I want to say somebody else got caught up like that one time before that we heard about. He got caught. The dude got caught here, but he was from Maryland.
Hey, let that story be a lesson for you police folks out there. You can tase them. You ain't got to kill them. I'm just saying.
Yep. Yep.
Didn't say he didn't deserve it. Hell, you could have took the long way to the station because he kicked you in the face. I ain't even tripping on that. But you didn't have to kill him. Just saying.
There is a way. There is a way to do it.
Absolutely.
All right. That's it, man. Let's get to work, man, and go and get into the real nitty gritty here. We here to recap week 11 with y'all. Of course, we're going to go over the scores and go in depth in a few of these games, give our thoughts and feedback on them. We're going to have the overreaction real talk segment back again this week. And then also we're going to have some NBA talk to finish up. But let's jump right on into these games, man. Last Thursday, it was the Seattle Seahawks pulling out a game 27-24 over the Green Bay Packers.
Another L for me.
Oh, that's right. You did take the Packers in this game. Shout out to you. At first, it didn't look good for Seattle. Russell Wilson was playing like garbage for a good majority of this game.
Straight up. I was tweeting about it. I was like, man, Russell's a different quarterback without a Hall of Fame running back and an all-time defense. I'm just saying.
Right. And, it don't help that he, outside of Doug Baldwin, Tyler Lockett, he all right, but he one-trick pony to me.
Gadget.
They don't have much else at the receiver spot, so they're making it do what it do. Yeah. But he just didn't look good.
More competitive than I thought they would be this year. Like, they're right there with the playoffs with a huge game on Sunday. So shout out to them for getting that done. We're gonna get more into Green Bay in a little while, but shout out to Seattle.
Yeah, I thought they could be probably around 8-8 or so, 7-9.
Yeah,
but they in the playoff hunt because everybody is a lot of parity.
Yes,
air quotes in the NFC. So
yes,
a few of those things haven't kind of pulled away like we probably thought they would.
Right.
But all right. So next up, we have the Atlanta Falcons. I would say hosted, but it sounded like it was about half and half, bare minimum. Dallas to Falcons ratio Sunday. But the Dallas Cowboys pulled the game out 22-19 on a game-ending field goal by, I almost called him Bill Maher, but I forget his first name, the kicker for Dallas. Yeah. I mean, it was a decent game.
Yeah.
Decent game, but at the end of the day, they fed they fed Zeke the ball. And when you do that as your priority, hey, the good things happen. I thought it was funny. I knew the Falcons were done in this game when Dakota flexed on them.
Man, ran them little dudes over. I mean, Dak's Dakota's about 250, give or take.
Yeah, he's about 230. Yeah, about 240. So yeah, somewhere
around there. And that's the Falcons linebacker size right now. So you met them at the goal line, ran all over them. But yeah, Dallas. I mean, it's a pretty simple formula. When Zeke eats, you win. You don't need to let Dakota throw the ball 40, 45 times. That's just not a recipe for y'all to win. It's just not. So they got it done. We're gonna talk about Atlanta a little bit later, but it's like I would tell you to put a fork in them right now, but technically they're still alive. I think they'll be alive up until Thursday.
I'm about to say because everybody right there in that little bunch, them, Green Bay, Carolina, Minnesota,
Like a game separated.
and Seattle all lost this weekend. So they really didn't lose no ground. But then you cough up a chance to gain some ground, which is the most important thing right now, especially with them being 2 games out of the playoff spot. So they got some work to do, and yes, it's going to be very, very hard for them to go into New Orleans Thursday night on a short week, Thanksgiving night in New Orleans, and win a game against the way that this team is playing and steamrolling people right now.
Because them folks probably ain't going to work none this week because it's Thanksgiving week. So that means they're going to be turned up for that game on Thursday. Turned up.
I bet you any amount of money black folks eat on time in New Orleans on Thursday. If they say 3 o'clock, it's going to be 3 o'clock. Normally, if you say 3 o'clock, it might be 4 or 5.
Yeah. No CP time. No, we're eating on time. Game, come on. Yeah. Absolutely. We're gonna.
Or a lot of them might be tailgating to going to the game.
Yep. Shout out to them, man. I got something to say about that. I want to wait till we get down to their score though. Let's keep it moving.
All right. So next up, your boys, Panthers. I didn't really see any of this game, but y'all lost to the Lions, 20-19.
Yes.
Explain to the people what happened, Hate.
My defense. That's it's not even an overreaction. That's on the overreaction list. Carolina's defense is trash. It's trash.
Just straight to trash?
Yeah, it's trash, man. When you watch the games and you see the number of missed tackles, and we got good linebackers. I'm talking like all pro linebackers.
Right.
Something's amiss right now where we're missing a whole lot of tackles. We can put a whole lot of this on the offense, but our defense ain't what it was. And it could have been worse. If Kerryon Johnson wouldn't have got hurt, it might have been worse. But Babytron looked really good on us Sunday. He looked good. I mean, I think it starts on the defense, man. There has to be something to happen with this defense.
Let me ask you this: when you talk about the All-Pro linebackers, of course we're talking about Thomas Davis and Luke Kuechly.
Yes.
Do you think for Thomas Davis the injuries? He's had something. I mean, he battled back and he played through a lot, but he's had a lot of different kind of injuries. He started this season with an injury, or was he just suspended?
He was suspended this year.
Okay. And then with Luke Kuechly, the concussion history and him being in the dark room, are those things probably contributing to, for lack of a better word, a decline in them?
I think
they're still good, but you know what I'm saying. They're not up to the level that they used to be.
It's hard for me to say. Well, I'm saying it because I mean it, but it's like, how could I say they suck when they only gave up 20 points? But when you watch the last 3-4 weeks, really last 4 to 6 weeks, we have not been a good defense this year at all. It's not just them up front. Dontari Poe, we paid him $9 million a year to come from Atlanta. He has not been a factor at all. I'm trying to think of a game that we had a good defensive showing. I don't think we've had one this year. I really don't. And Devin Funchess, my God.
More drops?
How do you drop 5 balls in one game?
Are you serious?
5, B. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Cinco. 5. How do you drop 5 in one game, dog? He was playing at home. He's from Michigan. How do you drop 5?
What's insane is the fact that y'all don't have enough depth at receiver because he shouldn't even get the opportunity to drop 5 balls.
I think when Torrey Smith comes back, we're gonna start phasing him. But I think we got one in DJ Moore. He's starting to show himself.
I like him. He plays slot kind of for y'all, right?
Slot outside. I mean, he's starting to show himself. But man, Devin Funchess, I wouldn't mind having him back if he put some stickum on his hands and we get him for a really low price. You can't drop 5 balls in no game, man. And bottom line, I ain't gonna put this all on the defense. Cam Newton got to make that pass, man. Cam got to make that pass. I wasn't in love with him going for 2. I wasn't in love with it. You know me. I feel like that's saying you ain't got no faith in your defense. Now, the kicker hadn't missed the extra point and a field goal. So we left 4 points on the table. But I felt like we should have took the tie and trusted our defense to make a play. Now, Detroit did have 3 timeouts, and they were at home. But I kind of felt like Ron gambled, and it went the wrong way. But even if Cam would have made that 2-point pass, they would have still had the ball with time to go down there and win it by a field goal. Cam got to make that pass, man. Got to.
You know, Ron, Riverboat Ron, he going to gamble anyway. But sometimes you'll see, I don't know, how much time was on the clock after y'all scored a touchdown?
After we scored that touchdown, they would have had about 2 minutes to go down there and walk down the field with 3 timeouts.
I mean, because I can see, I see sometimes you'll see coaches, maybe if it's, right at the very, very end of the game, last play or something, where if basically you ain't really had no business even being in a position to even tie this game, they'll try to go ahead and win it and steal it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Especially if they haven't been stopping the offense or playing up to par. But with 2 minutes left, even if you get the 2-point conversion, then you still only got to give up a field goal and you got 2 minutes to go.
Right.
So in that case, yeah, I'm probably going to go ahead and kick that extra point to tie it because, the downside is
in love with that.
You lose. You just basically lose outright.
Basically. So now we pretty much got to – we'll talk about them in a minute. So we can keep it moving.
Yeah. But again, everybody behind y'all lost as well. So there you go.
There you go.
There you go. All right. Next up, the Colts, man. Andrew Luck and the Colts, 38-10 over the Titans.
Didn't see that coming.
Well, remember, this is the game. I texted you. We saw it coming. We were scared to pick them.
I didn't know they were going to beat them down like that, though.
I mean, not beat them down like that, but I figured something told me that it was going to be a trap game for Tennessee because they had just beat New England. They had a little 2-game winning streak, and I still don't really – I'm not sold on them.
Well, Mariota did get hurt in this game, too, but he wasn't playing worth a shit.
Okay.
He was active, so,
But we talk about the Colts, and we'll move on from them. I don't think we're going to spend too much time on this game. But the offensive line, man, is playing great. Andrew Luck has not been sacked in 5 weeks.
That's dope.
And he has – you talk about the touchdowns that Drew Brees and Mahomes has thrown. He's up there in the 30s as well, I believe. He only has 1 game this season where he's only thrown 1 touchdown. Every other game he's thrown at least 2.
Yeah.
So I think he only did 2 once. So he's balling, and they got a run game.
Yeah, we're going to talk about them in a little bit because I got a question for you on them.
All right. Next up, the Giants, 38-35 over Tampa. I didn't see this game, but it seemed like the Giants was blowing them out at first, and then Jabu came in the game and brought him back.
Yeah, he came back in the game because I heard somebody said this on TV. I thought it was kind of dope. He said Fitz magic has turned back into Fitz tragic. I loved it. And it's like both them dudes can't help themselves. They're just turnover machines.
Hey man, you got it's like it's going to be 2 or 3. They get to start 2 or 3 games, and then that's when the wheels fall off.
That's it. I mean, some of them picks Fitzpatrick was throwing, they were just terrible. But the Giants, they've won 2 straight?
Yeah, they're 3-7 now, and only 2 games back from the division lead. And Washington lost their quarterback.
That was
Philly's not playing that great.
Nope. Odell said all they gotta do is run the table.
He did say that, and we laughed. Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Hey, Daquan looked good Sunday too. He was running with power Sunday. It wasn't like he kept on, I don't care for him when he breaks to the outside all the time. I want to see you run with some power sometimes. So, they got weapons, man. It's simple with them. Sometimes football can be simple, people. Sometimes. If you protect Eli and give him just some time, he ain't that bad when you give him some time. Yeah,
but that's the key. You got to give him some time. In the run game, definitely helps.
Yeah, so, but we're going to see what happens with them. I mean, these are both cellar dwellers at this point, so we'll see.
Texans, Houston Texans, 23-21 over Washington Redskins. In D.C., as we just said, Alex Smith broke his leg, something nasty, tibia and femur. As a matter of fact, they said
his bag was guaranteed.
Yeah. And because here it goes. It said Alex Smith suffered a compound fracture. That means the bone broke through the skin.
Yeah.
The trauma surgeons also discovered that he had what's called a spiral fracture in his leg. They define it as a long bone broken in some kind of rotational way. I don't know.
Damn.
But he's 34, man. He's facing a crazy rehab. I would think he's probably done.
They say it's not career threatening, but I mean, here's this. Did you hear that? You remember Joe Theismann's injury where his leg like broke like that? Do you know it happened? His injury was the same day all them years ago, and he was in the crowd watching.
That's crazy.
That's crazy.
He knew he should have stayed his ass at home.
That's crazy. The same injury, a broken leg like that. But yeah, Washington's in trouble. We're gonna talk about them in a minute. All right, let's run through these last few. All right, let me run through them. Pittsburgh 20-16 over the Jaguars. Jaguars had a chance to get back in this game. Hell, they was up. Pittsburgh stole this game late. They stole it.
Jacksonville, they died on offense in the second half. They was up 16-0 at halftime.
Yes. Defense played about as good as they could. Sunday morning, the reports were that they were going to trade Jalen Ramsey. Jalen Ramsey went out there and got 2 picks, and now all of a sudden they don't want to trade him. That shit's a dumpster fire, people. I don't know what's going to happen there. But Pittsburgh, you played a terrible game and walked away with a win. So shout out to you on that one. We don't have nothing else about that game. You got anything else on that one?
No, man. I mean, Pittsburgh they find different ways to win games, man. And when you start doing that, you started winning them all kind of ways. You can go that can be, you can go very far.
Absolutely. It's wide open in the AFC. All right, this one here I don't get it. The Bengals lost 21-24 to the Ravens. Big dog, I want to say I said something to you Sunday about that. Like, homeboy's not throwing the ball. Lamar Jackson was not throwing the ball. They knew he wasn't throwing the ball, and yet he still beat the Bengals. How?
Yeah. First half, yeah, they let him throw a little bit more second half, and it was, it was some stuff that he could work with. But yeah, man, the Bengals are just they are awful,
and they're still in the playoffs as of right now.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah,
amazing. All right, the dumpster bowl.
I don't know if a team misses one player more than that team, because ever since AJ Green been out, I think that's when his losing streak has started for them, right?
Yeah, that's about when it started. Did I hear correctly that Burfict spit on somebody?
They said somebody spit on him.
Somebody spit on him. Okay.
But it came out not to be.
Somebody did spit in your mouth.
Somebody denied it. So, I don't know.
Yeah, keep your spit in your mouth. All right. The Raiders beat Arizona 21-23. I saw the end of this game on Red Zone. Pretty much, Arizona just could not finish the game. They played well enough to the end. They just couldn't finish it. So they took an L. Now, this one here, the Chargers are going to charge you. Dog, it's not like we look to bring people down and talk shit down. It just happens. It really just happens. The Chargers took another injury on, I want to say the offensive line this week. They lost Denzel Perriman last week, a linebacker. And I want to say it was Corey Legent this week, one of their starting offensive linemen. He's out with an injury, had to get carted off. We're not making this up. The Chargers start to break down around Thanksgiving every damn year. Every damn year.
I was sitting on the couch Sunday. I'm like, this is what they do
every year, and it's not like we're wishing this shit on them. It just happens. Denver had no reason to win that game. Phillip Rivers, the clock management late in that game. I want to say he threw a late pick. It's terrible.
Terrible.
Terrible. And that might come back to bite y'all in the ass later on. You might need that game. You're looking pretty good right now, but that might come back on you. All right.
The only thing saving grace for them is the teams behind them in the playoff standing. Yeah,
they're not very good.
Yeah.
So we'll see. All right, this next game here, the Saints put 48 points on the Eagles. The Eagles had 7. I got an issue.
Somebody stop these dudes, man.
I got an issue. I got an issue with Sean Payton, man. Fourth down. You throwing go routes?
To Kamara.
You styling on them like that?
Sean Payton like that, man. He don't give a damn. Sean Payton does not care.
Not disrespectful, though, B?
He intends for it to be disrespectful. He intends for it to be disrespectful.
You know, I remember a line Cam Newton had years ago. He was talking about, y'all want me to dance? Keep me out the end zone.
Right.
I guess this kind of applies to the Saints. Man, this shit looking like a buzzsaw, dog. It's really looking like a buzzsaw right now. Everything they're doing is working. Everything.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know I don't know their punter's name.
I don't know. He gets no work.
Nah.
So, you think he practices?
He gets to chill. He'd be on the side on the bike, probably.
Yeah, just staying fresh, just in case.
Yeah, you know.
But I don't have nothing on Philly with this one. This was embarrassing. I hate I didn't catch Doug Peterson's interview afterwards because I'm sure it was enlightening and some more of that saying a lot without saying nothing shit that he does.
Yeah, he does that shit a lot.
Quite often. But they got their ass whooped, man. It's it's vacation time. They can start planning.
Not in the NFC East.
I mean, technically they're alive, but it's like they're alive with no pulse. Is that possible?
Yeah. I mean, it's Philly. So if anybody, it's a gritty, hard-nosed city. So if anybody can flip the switch, I mean, it's not the same team as last year, but they still have enough, you would think, to play better than what they playing.
I want to say they took 2 or 3 more injuries in the secondary in this game.
And that's the main problem right there. That's
the main problem.
If you don't have a secondary, you can't stop teams from passing in a passing league. And the top 5 teams all can drop 30, 40 points on you on any given Sunday.
In a half.
If they really apply themselves.
Yes.
You can't play in this league.
Yeah, that's playing. That's fighting with one arm behind your back.
Right.
And you ain't gonna win in most cases that way. So, the Vikings lost to Chicago 25-20 on Sunday Night Football. We're gonna talk about them in a minute because I got a good question about that quarterback that they handed $84 million to. We got a question.
I was just about to say, are they underachieving or are the Bears that good?
We'll talk about it. All right, this last one. Okay. It was Tecmo Bowl last night on TV. Was it Tecmo Bowl or Madden 92 when the defenses weren't that good?
Joe Montana Football 94 on Sega Genesis.
People, the Chiefs lost 51-54, and they had 5 turnovers and only lost by 3. How do you turn the ball over 5 times and only lose by 3 and put up 50?
And 2 of them went back for scores.
2 of them went back for scores. Tell me how that happens. I need to know.
Because, first of all, how do you, as a defense, how do you even look at your offense in the face when they gave you 51 points and y'all lost?
How?
Even with the 2 pick sixes, okay, but even past that, Pat Mahomes is a bad motherfucker.
Bruh.
Okay.
Bruh.
He turned the ball over like he was Andrew Luck, Jameis Winston, somebody like that last night.
You know who I saw last night?
Brett Favre.
I saw Brett Favre.
Motherfucking Brett Favre.
He was throwing that bitch on the move 50 yards down the field. Now, them late ones, I think he got too aggressive. He's a kid still. He got too aggressive on them. But,
yeah, the one on his arm got hit. You talking about the last 2 picks?
Yeah, he had enough arm, even with getting hit, to get that thing down the field. Now, it wasn't accurate, but he got it down the field a good bit.
Yeah, and then that last one, I think the last one, he that's where he trusted his arm talent a little too much because he tried one of them crazy throws and it didn't go where he wanted it to go.
Right.
I think if he puts it where he want to put it, which is on that outside shoulder going toward the sideline where Tyreek Hill would have had a chance to catch it, then it definitely wouldn't have got picked.
Right.
But that would have maybe gave us a different outcome. But I mean, that was a good ass game.
That was a good ass game, dog. And Jared Goff, I was thinking about it last night. Would you rather have a quarterback? Because I don't believe Jared Goff has crazy arm talent. I really don't. Mm-hmm. But would you rather have a quarterback with crazy arm talent or a good system? Because can we say he's a system quarterback?
I'm
not trying to shit on him. He's
Oh
good.
man, I think he's got some pretty decent arm strength at least. He can pretty much make all the throws and everything. It's hard to tell because you got Sean McVay coming in with this system,
Right.
but we don't really have anything to compare it to because Jeff Fisher fucked him up so bad.
That's true. That's true.
You
Hey,
know,
he could have easily folded last night. He was making throw for throw with him.
I can't remember who it was. I think I heard somebody on one of the talk shows say, Jeff Fisher had us thinking that Jared Goff couldn't even call plays in the huddle.
Right.
And now look at him. So
one thing I liked about what they did last night, they used the tight ends. They incorporated the tight ends last night. Man, I want this for the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I think they're gonna have to incorporate them tight ends even more, especially with Cup being out. Because as you saw, there was some spots there, and for some reason they just would not run toward Gurley.
Come to find out, they said his ankle was messed up. They released
okay.
That.
Okay, well that makes sense then. But you got those two defenses though, man. They both scare me.
I got a question on here about Aaron Donald, but it's like we can take that off now. It's like I feel like he's the best player in the NFL, but he's. Mm-hmm. I mean, I guess defense it's a team thing, but that defense ain't good. It's
not at all. That's what I'm saying.
Can you be the best player in the league and you're a defensive player on a bad defense?
I mean, when you talk about when you say best player in the league, then you're talking, I guess, just pure talent.
Yeah, talent.
Individual talent. But it's hard for me to
you know what, scrap that. Let's ask you this.
I'm just not where I can give. I'm ready to give a defensive player best player in the league. I don't know. I guess I'm offensive biased.
I'm with you. That was an overreaction type question. But let me ask you this: whose defense is worse out of the two?
That's the thing. I want to say the Chiefs, but then again, man, the Rams aren't good, man. I mean, Mahomes had 5 turnovers. They had 5 turnovers. If they don't turn the ball over, they would have smoked the Rams.
Yeah.
They might have put up 70.
I thought they were.
If they didn't turn the ball over. So that's the part that scares me about with the Rams defense is like, okay, y'all got 5 turnovers and yet y'all still almost lost.
Skandrick would have caught that interception. They would have won that game.
Right. So
I'm not throwing it all on him, but they would have went down there and scored again had he caught that interception.
Yeah.
More than likely. But
because they were rolling at that point. But that defense, it's got to do something. I think Chiefs defense played a little bit better in the second half than they did the first half. I think they finally kind of got their feet up under them. But it's just hard for me to see the Chiefs on the AFC side beating Pittsburgh or the Patriots, either one. When it comes playoff time.
Did he not get exposed a little bit in regards to how he handles pass rush? Has he been blitzed this year like that?
No, not really. But everybody ain't got Aaron Donald.
That's true. But I want to say New England put a little bit of pressure on him. I want to say they did. They showed him something he hadn't seen. He ate Pittsburgh up, so Pittsburgh was finding their way early in the season. So he got to learn to get rid of the ball too.
I'm about to say, because if you look at his, I think he handled outside of course, the strip sacks. His turnovers. You look at his turnovers. 2 of them were off strip sacks, and you had 2 late game interceptions. One where his arm was hit. Yeah. So it wasn't a problem where he wasn't reading the defenses right or anything like that. It was some attacking plays that
collapsed on him.
Yeah, they got him. So if he can clean that up, like say he kind of sitting back there holding the ball with one hand a lot in the pocket.
Right.
That ain't gonna fly.
Right.
That ain't gonna fly.
But I gotta feel. I mean, they coming up on a bye at a perfect time. They still 9-2, top of the conference. So we're definitely gonna see what happens. All right, let's get into this overreaction of real talk. Our newest segment that I'm really feeling because I like to overreact, and you like to bring me back down to earth. All right.
Let's get it.
Mike McCarthy not going for it on 4th and 2 last week in the fourth quarter of that Seattle game. They only needed 2 yards. Him not going for it, that was his last straw in Green Bay. Overreaction to real talk.
I don't think it's an overreaction. Just I think it's real talk. The ultimate thing, I think he is definitely gonna get fired. I don't know if that particular play is the last straw or not. Because it was still 4 minutes left or something like that.
It was 4 minutes left. You lost 2 starters already on defense in that game. You got Aaron Rodgers. They're running the ball on you left and right. If I'm gonna trust anybody at that stage of the game, I'm gonna put the ball in his hands. I didn't get the rationale behind that.
Weren't they still on their side of the field though?
I want to say they was at maybe midfield, give or take.
Yeah.
I want to say, I could be wrong, but it felt like they had to go for it at that point. Felt like it. Fourth quarter on the road, 2 yards.
And that's not the first time there's been rumblings about Aaron not liking the way that he kind of micromanages. He don't let. I mean, if you pay Aaron all his money to be the guy, then give him a chance to go be the guy.
Absolutely.
So, like I said, Mike McCarthy, his days are coming to an end. Like I said, you already know what my assessment is, that they're not going to make the playoffs and his ass is going to get fired. So,
absolutely.
It's leaning that direction. I'm not sure who they play this week.
Yeah, I ain't even put that because I feel like they're in trouble. No, they got Minnesota Sunday night in Minnesota.
And Minnesota is going to be desperate. Both of them should be playing desperate hell. Yeah, that's a big game because you look at the playoff positioning right now. Minnesota 5-4-1. They're in the 6th and final playoff spot. Green Bay is in number 9 at 4-5-1. So this game could basically give them the same record, and then I'm not sure what the tiebreak is going to look like after that, but probably best conference record, I believe. So Green Bay could actually make a jump in the playoff position this week.
All right, let's talk about Minnesota. We're gonna skip number 2 on this list. Has Kirk Cousins been a disappointment for the Vikings?
He damn sure ain't lit it up. Now I haven't watched a lot of Vikings games, but I've watched enough to say if you get $84 million guaranteed, we want to see some goddamn fireworks. And we ain't saw no fireworks.
They beat Arizona. They beat the Jets.
Mm-hmm.
They beat y'all. Now that was week 1. They beat y'all. They beat Philly. They had a 5th win too. Somebody else. Can't remember the 5th one. But there are no world beaters that they've beaten so far. None.
Right.
I mean, his numbers aren't terrible. They're not, but
one thing you got to look at too.
Them 6 lost fumbles. That's a lot.
Yeah, he's gonna have that. As we all know, Kirk Cousins is gonna throw. He gonna have his turnovers, but also
not to be forgotten about this thing. In 10 games.
But not only that, but this defense is not what it was supposed to be or what it's supposed to be either.
They ain't had no run game either this year.
Not remotely close to having either one of those things. So all of that plays a part. But with Stephon Diggs and Adam Thielen being 2 constants, those first 7 games or so, everything was working. You was hearing about Adam Thielen starting the season with 100-yard games. I think he might have had 150 combined in the last 3 games. So
yeah,
something's definitely been off, and they've had Dalvin Cook back for 2 weeks.
Right. All right. Look at their remaining schedule. Where do they go?
Let's see. The Vikings. Where are the Vikings?
Number 3.
Oh, okay. Yep. So they got Green Bay at home this week, at New England, at Seattle, Miami, at Detroit, Chicago. I think they will find a way to beat Green Bay Sunday night. They're going to definitely lose in New England. They're going to probably lose in Seattle. That was tough. They're about the same. 3-3.
That's what I'm thinking.
3-3, possibly 4-2, because that last game that Chicago plays, depending on what happens before that, the Bears might not even have to play their main people.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna
Absolutely.
say 3. I'm gonna say 3-3, 4-2 the ceiling, and that'll get them in. That'll get them in the playoffs.
All right. Speaking of the Bears, at 7-3, the Bears are the team that no one wants to face in the playoffs.
I'm gonna say that's an overreaction. Yeah, Khalil Mack scares me. Their defense is good, especially their front four. But the offense, it doesn't scare me. They
It's a
good.
college offense, ain't it?
They
It only
good. They
seems like
consistent. It works for them. But if I'm a playoff team, then I should be probably elite at defensive play calling more than likely.
yeah.
They don't scare me. You look at the other NFC teams that they'll have to go through, Rams and the Saints to come off the top of the head, even y'all, the Panthers.
Yeah.
No worries. I wouldn't worry. Those 3 teams there, I don't think the Browns will beat them in the playoff game.
Gotcha. All right. Next up, Andrew Luck is finally healthy and will lead the Colts into the playoffs. They're 5-5 right now. Look at that remaining schedule. They're basically one game out the playoffs. How do you think they finish? That's a pretty solid schedule down the stretch, though. That Miami game is a trap. Well, that's not in Miami. That's at home.
Miami at the Jags, at Texans, Dallas, Giants, Titans. Let me peek at the next one. Oh no, that ain't theirs. I was looking for the Ravens schedule because that's who they would have to catch. I think. They're not catching the Chargers at 5. Let's see. They are going to. I mean, if they're gonna play like they're playing right now, they're not gonna lose any more than 3 of those games. Probably 2. They'll probably go 4-2 in those games. 3-3 minimum. They should beat Miami.
They should beat Miami.
They should beat Jacksonville.
Should beat them.
I think they'll lose at the Texans.
We gotta know which Deshaun Watson gonna show up. But yeah, they should.
And then the Dallas, the Giants, and the Titans. The end. All of those games really can go either way.
Yeah.
But I think they will. To answer your question though, I think they will. I'm gonna say they sneak in there and make the playoffs.
I like them better than Baltimore. I like them better than Cincinnati. Marcus Mariota's hurt again. So, yeah, they actually should get in as that 6th seed. They should.
And depending on which way the Texans go and how their head-to-head matchups go, they could still win the division.
And they got money next year.
A lot of money.
With more draft picks coming up.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, man, shout out to him. Speaking of Baltimore, has Joe Flacco started – I put it this – I need to put it as a phrase. Joe Flacco has started his last game for the Ravens.
No, that's an overreaction. He'll be back.
I feel like it should be an overreaction, but I got a feeling they're gonna keep that boy out there.
I mean, now if it get to a point where they lose a couple games here and they get out of the playoff race, then yeah. But at the end of the day, John Harbaugh, they ain't had a playoff. They ain't been in the playoffs in 4 years?
Yeah, since they won the Super Bowl, I believe.
Just all the talk of whether he's on the hot seat or not. If they right there for the playoffs and Flacco's healthy, Flacco's gonna play.
I'm trying to find their schedule real quick because I want to say they said it was pretty. It was feasible for him to win these upcoming games. Here it is. All right, let's get it. The Baltimore Ravens schedule. I want to say they got Oakland coming up. All right. Matter of fact, they play Oakland on Sunday. Atlanta. Mm-hmm. They go to Atlanta. They go to Kansas City, Tampa, the Chargers, and the Browns. He can beat Oakland on Sunday. Depending on what Atlanta's doing, that defense might carry them. He might win that game.
They're not beating the Falcons.
We'll see.
It seems like I keep saying it. I don't know. Am I giving the Falcons too much credit?
Bro, they lost to Cleveland the other week.
I know. I just keep looking at the fact that I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, we both took them Sunday. They should have won Sunday.
I guess I'm expecting 9 out of 10. I'm expecting them to score 30 points.
Yeah, they should.
It's not happening though. The last couple weeks.
It's not. So, hey, I got a question about them in a little while, but let's keep it moving. With Alex Smith's injury, the Washington Redskins are finished at 6-4. Colt
Absolutely.
McCoy is the new starter now.
That is real talk.
Yeah, I believe that too. Tough break.
Literally.
Jameis Winston was named starter again. He'll finish strong for Tampa.
What's their schedule?
I ain't even pulled the game.
I know they play us this weekend.
I think at this point, what'd you say? They go 3, throw some interceptions, and somebody else come in. So who knows?
Yeah, man. I mean, at this point, man, I think you just play Jameis, honestly, because
you have to play Jameis at this point.
because
See,
both of them are going to give you turnovers. That's just been proven. Fitz being older, you got to put all you can in the younger guy. To me,
Yeah,
he's a number one. He's a number one pick. He's thrown for 4,000 yards in this league twice.
yes.
You know, so we know there's talent there. You got to get the right coach and the right system, and James got to get his head on straight, and Deshaun Jackson got to get the fuck up out of there because his mouth is probably interfering with shit too.
Jameis needs a coach that would tell him, if you throw one more interception, we gonna fight on this sideline. There are no disciplinarians like that no more, are there?
We need Mike Woodson. We need Mike Woodson to be a football coach. That's what we need.
I can't think of one disciplinarian out there who would tell him, look him dead in the eye, no more interceptions. None today.
I know somebody, they won't let him coach no more though.
Yeah. Singletary.
He coached in high school.
Can he be the assistant QB coach just for that point?
Man.
Just for that.
Or Coach Curtis.
Coach Curtis, yeah.
Shout
out to that boy, Coach Curtis.
But on another thing that they need, honestly, they need to be outside Le'Veon Bell door as well.
Mm-hmm.
When's the last time that they had a good run game?
Cadillac
exactly.
Anderson.
Cadillac Williams. Cadillac Williams. I know you're talking about though.
Yeah, that was like two years solid that it happened, and that was 100 years ago.
Doug Martin had a good 2 years?
Year and a half, 2 years.
So I think if you give Jameis a run game, I think that would help drastically because they got a lot of talent.
They got a whole lot of talent. They got to stay healthy some kind of way. But I digress. All right, Dan Quinn should be concerned about his job security.
I'm gonna say overreaction. You know, it takes Arthur Blank forever in the day to fire people.
Yeah, I figure it's an overreaction because, I mean, I walk in that office at the end of the year. I'm like, what the hell you expect? I lost 4 starters on defense between week 1 and like 3. So, what do you expect?
Right, because
I was never a big fan of his. I don't like the clock management. I don't like the decisions. Certain stuff he seems like a good strength and conditioning coach. To me, that's disrespectful, ain't it?
Yeah, very. He was a defensive coordinator before he was a head coach. You just bust him all the way back down to strength and conditioning. Huh?
Who was calling that? Who put that shit together? Pete Carroll and him. Hell, matter of fact, he took over for Gus Bradley. That was Gus Bradley's defense.
Hey man, Pete Carroll is a gum chewing rah-rah cheerleader.
Basically, I mean,
you ever see a clipboard in his hand?
Yes, yeah.
His hands are always on his knees, and
he is on that clapping, ain't he?
I let your boy.
Hey, all Pete Carroll had to do was call that run play. He'd be looked at totally different right now. But I digress. So you think he's not on the hot seat? You look at their remaining schedule. Where do they go? Now they're 4-6 now.
Yeah, they're losing. They're losing Thursday night. I'm sorry. It's not going to be up there with the first game after Katrina.
That was bad.
When you knew they had no fucking chance in hell in winning that game. It's not going to be like that, but it's going to be hard for them to win with that defense.
Yes.
And that offense on Thanksgiving night on a short week. You losing more? Nah. Anyway, they'll beat the Ravens. And they got to go to Green Bay in the cold. That's probably another L. They'll beat Arizona, and then they finish up on the road at Carolina.
We split. We normally split with them. They beat us in their house. We should win this game at home. We should.
Because for y'all, I'm expecting y'all. It would be probably important for playoff positioning, more than likely, in seeding. So I'm expecting y'all to win that game. And I think the Falcons will finish up with Tampa, but by the end it's going to be over.
Yeah.
I mean, after this week right here, if they do lose to the Saints, which I think they will, they'll be 4-7.
It's 4-7. Man,
You're not making the playoffs.
Plan your vacations, people. All right.
They gotta run the table to me. They gotta run the table.
Did Drew Brees step in front of Patrick Mahomes for MVP last night?
It's funny you asked that, and I'm gonna say this real talk. I've been had Mahomes on top of my list pretty much all season.
Me all year long too.
But I was wondering because before the game, if he have a bad game or if they lose, then you're probably gonna start to see that narrative around MVP kind of change because you already kind of can see it. The media is real. They want
to give him that lifetime achievement because Drew ain't never won it.
Right, but not only that, he's leading the league in just forget the records that he's broken, the all-time records. He's leading the league in about to break single-season records on shit like completion percentage.
Because he's 76.9% completions. 25 touchdowns, 1 pick for the whole season.
1 pick.
As much as they throw the ball, 1 pick.
Yeah. And with
take it at this point.
I think the turnovers is what's going to end up costing Mahomes in the long run. And like you said, the lifetime achievement thing too. If
he breaks that touchdown record, they splitting that.
Oh, one thing I can tell you, NFL ain't finna split no MVPs.
They did it with Adrian Peterson and Peyton Manning some years ago.
They ain't gonna do it again.
If you tell him he gets 58 touchdowns, and they don't lose another game this year, he get 58 touchdowns. They ain't gonna get him MVP.
I'm just saying, I
don't agree with splitting. Let me get that clear. I don't agree with splitting.
I know you don't. I'm just saying it's very rare that those votes are going to come down identical. So I think what happened that one year was that it was so close that you had people vote the way that they voted and it ended up that way. I just think when they vote this time, if it's close, those writers are going to do like you said, the lifetime achievement thing, where he's never won one. He's broke all these all-time records this year. Yeah. He's broken single-season records this year. I think that's why they'll lean toward him if it comes down to that.
They L.A., y'all better hope they lose another game because that game can't be in New Orleans in the playoffs.
That was a big game for L.A. last night because if they would have lost that, then they would have lost to the two high-scoring powerhouses. Yes. They already lost to the Saints.
That game can't be in New Orleans. It can't be.
Not with that. Not with your defense.
Nah. No, sir. Yeah. All right, let's talk a little basketball before we get up out of here.
Dribble.
I'm calling an emergency vote. We got to vote on something real quick. Kevin Durant. I nominate him for wild animal status classification.
I don't know, man. He's kind of a sucker, man. I don't know if he – we got some real dogs in that Wild Animal Hall of Fame, man.
Tell me a dog that told a fan, watch the fucking game and be the fuck quiet.
Kevin Durant, man, he knows the fan can't do anything.
I don't know.
I mean, that
starting to trend that way. So he needs a few more.
I guess you can be a wild animal without being what I'm actually thinking in my head. I'm just thinking like him and like Vontaze Burfict not cut from the same cloth.
Nah.
I'm thinking on that kind of level of wild animals. But
what about our NBA wild animals?
I would say, he's been doing wild, crazy shit for the last couple of years. So yeah, he's out there.
You want to wait and see on that one?
We can put him in because between the burner accounts and his little sensitive reactions to things, you could tell he was still hurt about that Draymond shit.
Yes.
Don't ask me that again.
Oh my God. Is he like okay? Maybe he's like the most sensitive player in the NBA, like hands down.
I can't think of at least out of the superstars.
Yeah, I can't think.
You know what I'm saying? I can't think of anybody.
Have we not been saying for close to a year? Like, what you mad about? You're winning at life.
You know what I'm saying?
You can really hoop.
I think he's still so touched and affected by how people responded to him going to Golden State. And like, how could you not see that coming? Was you not around when LeBron went to the Heat?
And they didn't win 73 games the year before. You only play 82. They won 73.
Right.
and you know, everybody, he's gone. Man, I don't know where he gonna go, but we'll see. All right, man, we kind of saw this one coming. This
well, I thought about something interesting about the LA thing, because I ain't really buying the LA thing.
Me neither.
But I just, you know, I'll be thinking of different angles just to kind of get in these players' heads and see where they may be coming from.
Yeah.
So we pretty much expect Golden State to win this year. So KD will have his 3, right?
Should be 3 Finals MVPs as well. So.
Right. You know, LeBron is really like his idol. He won't say it, but that's pretty much it.
Absolutely.
If you want to look at it from a devil's advocate kind of way, I can see him going to LA just for the simple fact of, now I got 3, you got 3, and now we gonna win some more together. Now you can't never pass. You know what I'm saying? You can't never pass me though.
Right.
You'll never have more than me.
Never thought about that.
He always had this complex about being second to LeBron, being second fiddle to LeBron.
That's a dope concept right there.
So,
that makes a lot of sense.
You know, if he can do that and get a brush, I love to see him and LeBron play together.
I would too. I'm a Knicks fan, and I say this clearly. You know, you be a damn fool to go to New York. You be a damn fool.
East is kind of looking strong right now, ain't it?
Yeah, but not even that part of it. But I mean, you gonna trust?
Well, I would say not only that. I won't say not only that, but you don't trust. I know you don't trust the culture and the management.
No.
I mean, at
this stage in his career, at this stage, you got to be about winning. And that's what you just said. I ain't never heard that point of view, but that makes sense. Y'all be tied as far as titles, so it's not like you helping him. If he get 5, you're gonna have 5. So
right. And at some point, I'm pretty sure he's gonna, because he's a better scorer than LeBron. You know, they talk about LeBron probably breaking Kareem's record scoring wise. KD will be coming up behind him, probably breaking his.
Very true.
So he'll have that, depending on how long you played.
That's a real good point. And plus, if he leaves, I'm pretty sure they're gonna keep the band together. In regards to Draymond stays there and Clay gonna stay there, so you get to play them all year long.
Right. That's what I'm saying. If he, you know, he can say, you know what? Since y'all saying y'all won without me, I'll leave. I'll go team up with the dude that y'all called me anyway to help y'all beat. And then we'll settle this thing that way.
Hey, dog, we called for this Jimmy thing, and we didn't think it was going to happen, but it did. Between Bron and Magic, they might be able to make this work. They got the money to sign them outright and keep everybody. So we'll see. We'll see. All right, Kemba Walker's averaging 51.5 points a game over the last 2 games. What is Charlotte going to do? Because he's making himself money.
Yeah. Is he up this year?
Yeah, he's free this summer.
Man, Mike ain't paying him.
Mike came out today, said we got to keep him.
Oh,
this is another one of them small market situations where what choice you got? I mean, literally, what choice you got? So I can't see where he would go. I mean, you know, this is an aberration, people. He's averaging 29 points a game, but you put 60 on Saturday. It's going to kind of make your numbers go up.
I saw somebody, matter of fact, I think it was that boy Dragonfly Jones on Twitter. Mm-hmm. He tweeted that these last couple games been like a long ass Big East tournament for Kemba Walker.
Man,
having to score some damn points.
Yeah, crazy. All right, we talked about this earlier today.
But to score 60 and lose,
man. I mean, he was doing it dolo. Dolo, man. I sent you that on the side the other day. The Charlotte payroll, man. Them dudes some bums, b.
No, I didn't get that. What is it looking like?
Man, what Mike done paid these cats? Michael Kidd-Gilchrist, Cody Zeller.
Oh, yeah.
Man, them bums.
He still got Frank. Did he draft Frank the Tank?
Frank the Tank.
5 overall.
Right, man. Come on. You hit your wagon to that if you want to, Kimber. J.R. Smith is no longer with the Cavs. They are trying to seek a trade.
What the hell were they waiting on? What the hell took so long?
Well, the question is going to be where you going to move that contract.
Well,
can they not buy him out?
I was about to say, why haven't they bought him out?
Just buy him out. You can be done with it. JR take 12 and a half. Go get the rest of it somewhere else.
How many? You got 2 years left?
Like 2.
Yeah, they can buy him out.
That's like they haven't bought out Kyle Korver yet either. I mean, come on. Y'all know what y'all doing. Come on.
I hope they're saving cap space because nobody's coming there.
Nobody's coming. Man, I was talking about Cleveland.
Don't worry about the cap space. You won't need it.
Would you go to vacation in Cleveland? Shout out to that boy, Joakim Noah. Classic. All right, dog. We got to have a serious. We got 9 minutes to get serious about this here. What the fuck is going on with Markelle Fultz?
Hey, man. I don't know, man. I wish Dr. Sebi was still alive. He can go see Dr. Sebi or something.
Did you see Elton Brand's comments?
No, I didn't.
Elton Brand came out like, because his manager, his agent, Markel's agent, came out and said, "We're getting another opinion on this his shoulder. He ain't playing until then."
Right. I saw that.
Was like, he was healthy last night. He been playing all the other games. This is news to us. I don't think.
What you think he's doing?
Well, I don't think he's healthy, but I think it's not a physical thing. I think he's really in his head. I really think he's in his head.
Oh, it's obvious. I've seen 17 different free throw shooting techniques from him.
The pump
and the last couple, the pump fake, and then the one where he's gotten the ball all the way up. Bruh.
What could they possibly get for him at this point?
I don't think he's a second.
At this point, just eat it, man. It's kind of like what happened with Anthony Bennett. Just eat it. He wasn't the one. Just eat it.
But see, that's the thing. With Anthony Bennett, he just wasn't good. Markelle Fultz, I don't know what's
he's averaging like 8-4, 8-4-4, I believe.
But if you just look at his game in Washington, I mean, just the shot thing is what's really fucking him up because he had a decent shot there.
Yeah,
it had a little hits to it, but he had a decent shot. He was average. Matter of fact, I think he led the nation in scoring, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, he was a baller.
Right. So whatever's going on with him mentally or physically that's causing his shot to be what it is what he is the hurdle that he's got to get over. Now, if he gets over that and he goes back to shooting normal and playing normal and he still sucked, then he just sucked. But I think it's really mental or a combination of mental and physical. Like you said, maybe he ain't fully healthy. But he
got hurt preseason. Well, summer league the first year, and that shit it just went to shit from there.
Yeah,
he was solid in college. He was solid.
This is the weirdest shit ever. I can't remember any over the 30 years I've been watching basketball. I can't remember anything like this. Like you said, you have your busts that come. You have guys that come and have like knee injuries, and they end up not the same. But I've never seen an upper extremity affect your shot like forever.
And I guess the thing is, what makes it worse for me is this is a social media era now. Like, they probably dragging that boy in his mentions. I mean, dragging him. And that ain't going to do nothing but get further in his head, make him, it's tough, man.
Tough situation.
So, but, you did get that number 1 overall bag, so it was fully guaranteed.
And you still young, so you got time. Don't worry about what everybody's saying, man. You just got to whatever you need to do, just do it and keep working, man.
I want to see him win. I really want to see him win.
At this point, absolutely. But what I was going to say is that you can't have him and Ben Simmons on the floor at the same time. Oh, hell no.
Nah. You playing 3-on-5 on offense. So that can't happen.
And whoever Philly's shooting coach is need to be fired. Because he's definitely not doing his job.
But don't you get the impression that, like, if he tells Ben, like, hey, we need you to stay 30 minutes after practice to shoot, Ben's like, I got somewhere to be.
Yeah. Well, I think I asked you on the side the other day, like, how does this continue to happen? He hasn't taken a 3 all season. He took 1 last year. Somebody at some point needs to say something to him.
Ben seems like the cat who's, like, really stubborn. He going to do it his way, and that's that. These young boys are different now.
after they get eliminated in the playoffs a couple years in a row, and him having no jump shot is a big part of that. He'll change.
He gonna have to because they're not
Gonna
gonna
have
get
to.
where they need to get until he starts shooting the ball. I zone his ass up. I know zone is for suckers, but I make him shoot. I'm giving him 10 feet
All day.
all day.
All day, because I ain't what I'm gonna get up and press you for? Because you big enough and good enough ball handler to get around me. Once you get a shoulder past me, you too strong for most point guards or two guards. He to the hole. He can get to the hole.
I'm being old school with that. We about to get out of here with this. I'm getting old school. I'm backing off of him 10 feet and I'm clapping my hands like shoot it. Shoot it, B. Shoot.
Hey, you gonna turn your back?
Yeah.
Start going for the board.
Self check. I got him. Self check.
You know how we do. Call it out. All right, people. Hope y'all enjoyed it. I think it's time for us to get up out of here tonight. The red cups are empty or being finished off. We have went through some NBA talk with y'all. Went over some NFL news and the overreaction real talk segment. Hope y'all had fun with that. We did. And then we hit y'all with the week 11 recap. But we get ready to go here in the week 12. We will probably be hitting y'all with our pick show Thursday morning, Wednesday night, somewhere around thereabout. We will figure that out in the next 48 hours, which I will definitely get it. Thanksgiving games coming up. Hey man, it's down to crunch time.
All right, let's run through some college real quick. So you got Ohio State beating Michigan. No, Michigan beating Ohio State this year.
Football game this weekend.
Yes, this weekend.
I think this is Michigan's year.
Okay.
If they can't get it done this year, when you gonna get it done?
Auburn's not gonna beat Alabama, are they?
Auburn is definitely. Well, you never can tell in that series. I ain't even gonna lie. Being from Alabama, the year of the what they call it, kick six. I think it's called the kick six. But when they ran that missed field goal all the way back,
Gotcha. Yeah.
Shit like that. It's the Iron Bowl, man.
Georgia's taking care of business against Tech.
And that damn triple option. Yeah, we should be fine there.
There you go.
The other rivalry games, Florida State. That's not going to be hitting on shit. I don't care about any of the West Coast rivalry games. USC Stanford. Do they play this weekend?
No, USC Notre Dame.
I mean, that's what I meant to say. Notre Dame. I think Notre Dame has got probably a cakewalk right into the playoff.
They do,
barring a hiccup. So this should be a nice little weekend for college football. This is normally a good year for or a good weekend for college football because it's the last weekend before we get into the bowls and seeing who's going to the playoffs. So it's going to be very interesting. But outside of that Michigan-Ohio State game, the rest of the games really don't mean much.
Yeah, we'll see. All right, that's all I got.
All right, tell these people where to reach you at on social media anytime they want to hit you up with some sports talk.
At Rike6000, holla at me. I talk sports.
All right, you can find me at Diego Barish. I'm on Twitter as well. Don't forget to check out the AA Sportscast Twitter, Facebook, and IG pages.
Yeah.
Shout out to the Urban Arena crew. Again, don't forget to watch, hit the subscribe button on our YouTube channel. Again, that's AA Sports, straight sports, no chaser. And always don't forget, sign up and subscribe to the podcast on either Spreaker or iTunes. We got you covered on both devices, Android or Apple, either one. It does not matter. Yes. Uncle Hate, Diego Barishnikov, AA Sports, straight sports, no chaser, Urban Arena affiliate. We up out of here. We will holler at y'all in a couple days with the Week 12 Thanksgiving picks. We up out of here. Y'all be easy. Peace.